Good afternoon, everyone. So, the main purpose of this particular video, recorded video, is to inform you or to rationalize you of the correct answers to the type of tests, items that I have given you during your long test. I do believe that this particular video lesson would review you of the essential concepts that you have learned in Technology for Teaching and Learning 1, which would be covered for our final exam. So, for the type of test, I won't be telling you much of it. So, it could be true or false, it could be multiple choice, but I am certain that there is uh, an essay type of test to ensure that, indeed, you have learned something from the discussions that we had or from the activities that we had in Technology for Teaching and Learning 1 or Ed 10 course. Okay, so the number of items that you would have for your final exam would still be 50. And the the lesson coverage still would be the same lesson coverage that we had during this long test. So I really encourage you to listen attentively to the explanations, because in the explanations I would be sharing as well some other concepts or key concepts that we have learned during the discussions that might come out as well during the final exam that you would be taking tomorrow. So, without further ado, let's begin rationalizing with the first type of test that you have taken in your long test before, and that is the true or false. So let's begin with the first item. Flexible learning allows students to choose when, where, and how they learn. So the correct answer to this question is, of course, true. Remember, guys, flexible learning provides learners with various options regarding time, place, pace, and the modality of learning. And it includes online, blended, modular formats, or even face to face, giving students control over their learning conditions. So that's flexible learning. So, number two, flexible learning relies only on online instruction and does not include face to face or blended options. So, certainly, this statement is incorrect. So, it's false. Again, remember, flexible learning is not limited to online classes, it can include face to face, blended, flipped learning, even modular, and other flexible approaches depending on learner needs and, of course, available resources. Next, number three. ICT competency standards guide teachers' preparation programs in integrating technology effectively in teaching. And of course, the answer is true. Remember, guys, ICT competency frameworks such as UNESCO's or ang CHED to last time are used to train teachers to meaningfully integrate technology in terms of pedagogy, the teaching strategies that they do. Aside from that, the way they manage their class face to face and in online. So that's covered by pedagogy. Aside from that, in terms of assessment, that's the reason why you are encouraged, if ever possible, your students have or they have available internet connection or data wherein they could connect to and answer Kahoot quizzes or other forms of assessment, maybe what do you call that, Google form as well, or if your assessment is more of performance task type, so you could allow them to utilize Canva, other digital tools or other technology that is relevant to your specific performance task. So yeah, that's it. Next, number four, pre-service teachers are expected to use ICT not only for instruction but also for professional growth. So the answer here is, of course, true. ICT standards emphasize that teachers use technology for lesson preparation, aside from that, in research, communication, and collaboration, and continuous professional development. It's not only for delivering lessons. So, yeah, the correct answer for number four is true. Number five, the ICT competency standards focus on technical skills excluding pedagogy, meaning hindi pag-i-include ang pedagogy. Of course, this statement is highly incorrect. So the answer number five is false. Remember, ICT standards includes both technical skills and pedagogical applications. They address how teachers use technology to improve teaching strategies, assessments, communication, and of course, learning outcomes. Now let's proceed to number six. Data privacy laws require schools to protect the personal informations of learners and teachers. Of course, the answer is true. We had a lot of case studies presented by different or various groups last time during our activity. So I emphasized to you before I ended the class that there are laws, many laws that we could violate from. And these laws, such as the Data Privacy Act, require institutions to secure and responsibly handle personal data to prevent misuse, identity theft, and even unauthorized access. So the answer in number six is true. Number seven, cyberbullying is no longer considered a major educational issue because most learners are aware of digital ethics. So this statement is, of course, false. Cyberbullying remains a serious problem even up to now, and awareness of digital ethics does not guarantee proper behavior, and many learners still experience harassment, threats, and inappropriate online conduct. So, this statement is incorrect because it's still considered a major educational issue even up to this time. Number eight, digital literacy only improves learning how to operate devices such as computers and tablets. The answer in number eight is, of course, false. Digital literacy goes beyond operating devices, and I know and I am certain that you are aware of it. You are able to read the learning material that I provided you with regards to digital literacy skills that 21st century learners must have. Okay? And as mentioned, it goes beyond operating devices. It includes critical thinking, safe online behavior, evaluating information that you read in online resources or databases. And it also includes using digital tools for communication and solving problems. So, number eight, this is, of course, false. Number nine, copyright infringement becomes an issue when teachers use digital materials without proper permission or citation. So, this statement is, of course, true. You guys are always reminded that whenever we utilize or make use of data or information from the internet or from somewhere else, um, we have to always cite the author or whoever who gave that idea. We have to always cite the particular resource from that particular website, that particular author, and the year that information was published online. So that is, of course, to avoid copyright infringement issue, because all those materials that are published online are are protected by copyright. So we have to give credit to those people or to those authors where credit is due. Now let's move forward to the next item, for last item for true or false, and that's number 10. Critical evaluation of online information is an important part of leg- digital literacy. So of course this is true. Being digitally literate means being able to judge whether online content is credible, accurate, biased, or misleading. This is an essential skill in the digital age that you learners and even future teachers must be aware of. So hopefully everything is clear for the first part of our long test before the true or false test. Now let's move forward to test 2, or our multiple choice test. So let's begin with the first one. Flexible learning environment primarily aim to. The correct answer here is letter A. Accommodate diverse learner needs. Remember, flexible learning is designed to adjust to the differences in students' contexts, abilities, schedules, and learning preferences. I need not to discuss this even further because I do believe that during our discussion, we have already highlighted the key characteristics of flexible learning environment following the demonic flex, diba la? So, why is letter B incorrect? Flexible learning does not remove or eliminate learner tasks. So, B is incorrect. Letter C is also incorrect because it does the opposite of enforcing uniform conditions. And that's why very flexible kita would give them varied or different tasks to accommodate their needs. And of course, letter D is also incorrect because it encourages, not minimizes, student participation. Now let's move forward to number 2. A self-paced activity is best described as one where students, letter A. It's one where students complete tasks according to their own timetable. Again, self-paced siya. We give um, jurisdiction to learners. Self-paced means learners progress when they are ready and finish tasks based on their own timing. Depende kung when sila available, for as long as, again, they have to submit it we have to beat the deadline that you have given them. So, pero sa deadline pa lang nga gahatag na kita leeway for them to submit and do or be ready with or finalize their task based depende basta siguraduhin nila makamit nila na on our set deadline. So B is incorrect because self-paced does not require a fixed sequence of lessons or sessions. Letter C is also incorrect because it is not limited to synchronous sessions only. Pwede kitaya asynchronous session, di ba la? Letter D is also incorrect because deadlines are flexible, not identical or the same for all. Okay? Next, number 3. When designing a flexible learning space, which factor ensures inclusivity? The answer here is letter C, offering or a variety of resources and formats. So multiple formats such as, for example, videos, print, audio, modular, ensures that students with different needs and access levels can participate. So that ensures inclusivity. Everyone has is or can do such thing in a flexible learning space. Why letter A is incorrect? It prioritizes only fast learners and includes others. So that makes this not ensuring inclusivity. That's make it incorrect. Letter B is also incorrect because uniform tasks or the same tasks remove flexibility. And letter D is also incorrect because using only one platform limits access for those with connectivity or device issues. Remember, guys, during the pandemic, when these varied flexible learning environment were surfaced, there was a digital divide gidyaya nga nakita. So, in other words, not all students have or have access to digital devices, cell phones, Wi-Fi, laptop, and all. So that's the reason why we have to provide them with varied things. We have to be flexible at all times. Next, number four. A teacher notices that several students with part-time jobs consistently miss synchronous or online classes, especially during the pandemic, no? Damo kita mga mga part-timers ng mga estudyante kaya syempre they need not to go to school face to face naman mo. So they make use of their available time para maka-income kag para to help them or sustain their schooling. So to adopt, the teachers redesigns the module to accommodate them, which action best demonstrates a flexible learning approach. So the answer here is letter A, allowing students to access recorded sessions and submit outputs within variable deadline. So why this is correct? Because this adapts to students' schedule and maintains access despite conflicts. Letter B is incorrect because absence reports do not solve the access problem. Letter C is also incorrect because removing synchronous sessions entirely removes valuable interactions for everyone. So amo na lang ni gani ang the best way to suffice bala the the geographical um this engagement of the teachers and students, at least yeah, virtually during synchronous session, makakita na gyapon si teacher face to face with their students, and ang feedback yan ni teacher is real time. So removing this particular synchronous session entirely removes valuable interaction for everyone, teachers and students alike. And letter D is also incorrect because extending class time burdens already struggling students and doesn't fix the schedule conflicts. So number five, your school plans to offer a flexible learning program in an area with unstable electricity. As a future teacher, which approach ensures that the most inclusive access? So the answer here is letter A, providing radio-based and print modules alongside optional online support. This is correct because this accommodates students with limited digital access and ensures learning continues even without electricity. Why letter B is incorrect? Weekly digital video tasks require electricity and stable connectivity. So again, not all students have stable internet connection. Refer to the STEM question that we have here. This is an area with unstable electricity. So, of course, letter B is no, no. Next, letter C. This is also incorrect because live video conferencing exclude most learners in unstable electricity. Amo gini ang problema during the pandemic, and even up to now naga-fluctuate man gyapon ang internet connectivity naton or accessibility, although nagadasig na ang bandwidth niya. So as much as possible, as teachers learning the concept of flexible learning environment, we have to prepare additional learning materials, mga PowerPoint naton, if if possible, if your data and the resources permit, if you could record a session when you conduct online classes with the students, you could also have that and share it with the students because it would give um, an opportunity to students who weren't able to join the class face to face or join the class synchronously during that time to review the recorded session and learn something from your discussion as well, even if he or she would access that later than your scheduled class. Next, letter D is also incorrect because asking students to buy gadgets disregards their financial and access limitations. Number 6, a student performs well in online tasks but struggles in face to face activities due to anxiety. Which flexible strategy balances their needs while ensuring learning standards? So the correct answer here is letter A, offering choices such as video submissions, written outputs, or oral conferences. So providing multiple modalities so that student meets learning standards without forcing a single anxiety-inducing format. Kay balaan yung nga daan may ara iban gid yaya nga nahadlok gid yaya sang face to face. So considering that we have available modalities naman subong, pwede man nga i-record ya ang self ya abi na to discussing things, at least yaya ikaw lang makakita tapos ang iya anxiety yan di gid ya too much trigger during that time because he or she is aware that the teacher would only be the one to see the video that she has recorded, and during that time aware siya nga wala gaw may nagalantaw sa iya, only the camera that is focused on herself nga naga-discuss or naga-perform um, j- using on that particular task. So we could, as a teacher, as a future teacher, makabulig kita sa aton kabataan, but and at the same time we still ensure that they still learning from our class because naga-perform man siya gihapon, amo lang na galing wala siya yan naga-perform in front of the class. Although as teachers no dapat isigurado gani na tani naton okay lang na iya if hindi ka tayo nagatudlo sa mga ed students no, pero sa inyo in particular gid yang soon to be teachers, aware naman ka mo that you would be dealing with you would be facing your students at least most of the time in weekdays. So dapat as teachers aware na kita nga do hindi gid kita ano na we depart ourselves from social anxiety. Kay nga kinanglanan naton niya mag-communicate with sa aton nga mga estudyante later on. So dapat wala na kita na iyasang anxiousness when dealing with or when performing or when reporting in front of the class. So man ang dapat yung i-develop as a soon to be teacher. Okay, why letter B, letter C, and letter D are incorrect? Letter B is incorrect because permanently excusing in-person or face-to-face tasks removes essential learning experiences. Letter C is also incorrect because forcing group work doesn't address anxiety nor provide flexibility. And letter D is also incorrect because adding more face-to-face tasks worsens that student's difficulty. Next, number 7. A group of learners prefer collaborative work while some prefer independent study. To promote flexibility, which classroom design is most appropriate? The answer here is letter A, allowing students to choose between group-based projects or independent performance tasks. This offers a choice and accommodate both collaborative and independent learning preferences of the kids. So we are aware that um, not all students are of the same type. Okay, wait for a moment. Okay, so going back, letter B is incorrect because only group tasks ignore independent learners. Letter C is also incorrect because only individual tasks ignore collaborative learners. And letter D, permanent separation limits flexibility and interaction, which negates the key characteristics of or the main purpose of having flexible learning environment. Next, number 8. A teacher wants to help students develop responsibility in a flexible learning setup. Which approach best supports this goal? The answer here is letter C, requiring students to set personal deadlines and monitor their own progress. This builds self management and accountability while maintaining the structure. Letter A is incorrect because unlimited extensions remove responsibility completely. Hatagan mo lang siya ya unlimited extension niya. Okay, okay ha, deadline naton sini tapos nag-extend ka sa muna tapos kay way sa ka-submit i-extend mo naman. So wala na kita ya nagadisiplina sang kabataan. Wala mo na gina-develop still ang responsibility nga dapat students must have they have to be responsible with their own learning as well. So okay lang na iya maghatag kita, hindi kita gid mahatag deadline immediately the next day, next 2 days or at the end of the or last day of the week, pero at least yeah may deadline kita gihapon and we have to follow the deadline. If ever they miss that deadline, they have to face consequences. Depende sa kung anong naagrihan ninyo, ano ang na-relay mo as a teacher sa kabataan, if there would be deductions to their grades or what. So that is still to be fair with the rest of the students who were able to submit their requirements on time. Next, letter B is also incorrect because di na kita ganit number. Because optional tasks reduce accountability and standards. Nan. Optional lang bala like tagan mo sa okay pwede ka di kas pwede hindi ni siya requirement, optional lang, you could do this or you could not do this. So it's a no. How are we going to develop students' responsibility if we give our tasks or activities optional for them? And letter D is also incorrect because fixed deadlines ignore flexibility and do not build self-directed responsibility. Next, number 9. The CHED UNESCO ICT competency standards for pre-service teachers primarily aim to, of course, you are now aware of that, equip future teachers with skills to integrate ICT meaningfully in the teaching and learning process. So this aims to, of course, to improve instruction and at the same time learning outcomes para masigurado naton nga ang kabataan may ma-learn kag mas mag-learn pagid sa aton nga class because we deemed technology to enhance interaction on the part of the kids, and increased interaction would entail that effective learning would happen on their part. Number 10, the CHED UNESCO framework, which in the CHED UNESCO framework, which competency expects teachers to use ICT to enhance learning materials. So the answer here is, of course, enhance learning materials. Be, which enhance learning materials. Okay, the correct answer here is letter D, ICT resource management. So remember, learning materials are considered learning resources as well. It is where students learn from you with this aids the teachers to ensure that the content is delivered effectively and efficiently on the part of the students. So we have to manage the resources, and managing the resources entails as well you creating varied digital learning tools on the part of the students while still ensuring that all those learning materials online or digital that you have required to the students will be managed in a form of organized manner. So letter D is the correct answer. Next, number 9, 11. Which domain focuses on teachers' ability to use ICT tools for classroom instruction? Instruction, of course, that entails teacher strategies, when delivering a lesson, and teaching strategies are included in or part of the scope of pedagogy. So the answer here is letter C, pedagogical integration of ICT. Next, number 12. In the CHED UNESCO framework, which competency expects teachers to use ICT to enhance learning materials? Okay, so the answer here, o do liwat na ni? Okay, the answer still is letter D. Next, number 13. A pre-service teacher integrates an online simulation to help students visualize scientific concepts. This reflects which ST nests for teacher standards. So the answer here is, of course, letter C. Ay, hala, sorry. Letter C. Standard, I don't know. Letter B. I mean, sorry. Standard 3, or the teaching, learning, and curriculum. Remember, guys, using ICT tools to enhance understanding of concepts aligns with improving learning through technology. So that's letter B, standard 3. Next, number 14. During practicum, a pre-service teacher selects ICT tools that match learning outcomes, considers ethical use, adopts for diverse learners, and aligns tasks with PPST indicators. This demonstrates, of course, letter B, full alignment with CHED UNESCO ICT competency domains. So this demonstrates mastery of all those three domains. One, all those domains, I mean. One is pedagogy, second is ethics, third is diversity, and of course, curriculum alignment and resource use. Next, number 15. During practicum, a student teacher guides learners in using online resources but requires them to evaluate credibility and cite references. This most aligns with which PPST ICT related expectation. So the answer here is letter B, integrating ICT responsibly to support inquiry and ethics. Teaching students to check credibility and cite properly reflects ethical and inquiry based in ICT integration. While letter A is incorrect, troubleshooting is technical, but it's unrelated to evaluating sources. Letter C is also incorrect because speeding up delivery ignores inquiry and ethical issue or use. Letter D is also incorrect because unlimited access without guidance contradicts to responsible use. Next, number 16. A future teacher selects digital tools that cater to students with visual impairment, for example, screen readers, high contrast interfaces. These actions demonstrate letter A, commitment to universal design for learning within ICT integration. So, choosing accessible tools ensures inclusivity and follows the universal design for learning principles in technology use. Number 17. In a blended learning class, a student reports receiving harassing messages from a classmate in a group chat. According to ICT policy standards, the teacher's most appropriate response is to. The correct answer here is letter B, document the incident. So that's the reason why kita mga teachers, may ara kita actually nga ginatawag nga anecdotal records. It's where we write the specific incident nga na-take naton from whatever issue nga involve ang aton nga students. So remember, as teachers, we do not only focus on teaching students. We have other functions as well, and that is to advise them. And whenever there are incidents, we have to be there to settle those conflicts or other incidents. Okay. So Letter B, document the incident, report it through official channels, and reinforce digital citizenship aligns with ICT policy. Aside from that, child protection procedures and even responsible digital behavior. So dapat i-remind nato ng kabataan nga ang concept of digital citizenship, we have to make sure that they become responsible still in whatever behavior that they portray in the online world or in the digital world. Letter A is incorrect. In ignoring harassment neglects student safety. Letter C is also incorrect because public punishment without verification violates due process. So we have to follow the due process at all times. And letter D, incorrect as well because removing group chats punishes all and avoids addressing the issue. May amunan tong issue nga natabo, disregard mo lang, imulay pa obraya is to remove the group chat activities or permanently wala ka na ya feedback sa behavior nga negative behavior nga ginpakita sa kabataan. So paano na be that even removing that permanently pwede mo na sila ka obra liwat dayon kay ti unaware sila mo nga sala galing gin obra nila kay way man gin klaro sa ila. Wala mo sila gin laygayan, wala ka naghatag proper feedback. So the best answer in number 17 is letter B. Number 18, data privacy in schools primarily protects the, of course, no need to expound on that. The answer is letter A, personal and sensitive information of students and teachers. Data gani. So usually correlated to information. And privacy, of course, personal and sensitive. Number 19, cyberbullying is considered an ICT issue because it, letter C, it occurs through digital platforms and can harm learners psychologically. You know, guys, as teachers, we have to ensure that students learn in a conducive environment. And if may ara bullying, 'di ba? Amo ginang no gid naton cyberbullying in particular pagid when dealing with online engagement sa kabataan dapat wala gid na ang amo na nga form because that harms learners psychologically. Pwede sila ma-stress, pwede sila ah, anong iba na nga mga negative pagid nga ginaubra nila sa ilang self because of that certain thing. Number 20, copyright law ensures that teachers and students recognize and respect intellectual property when using digital content. Kita as teachers, di ba damo naman mga available nga mga online resources na mga activity sheets that are related to the topic that we will be teaching. But still, we have to respect the intellectual property of other teachers or other authors sina. So we have to cite them as well kung gamiton naton. Okay? Number 21, a school cybersecurity policy mainly focuses on what's the answer here? Letter D, protecting digital systems and data from unauthorized access. Number 22, a class is required to complete an online test. To prevent cheating, the teacher chooses open-ended analytical tasks instead of factual recall. This practice aligns with policy recommendations promoting, of course, the correct answer here is authentic digital assessment. Remember guys, na-highlight ko na sa inyo, authentic test requires critical thinking and reduce cheating because answers cannot be easily copied online. That requires them to apply what they have learned from the discussion. So it depends on how they're going to approach that specific open-ended analytical task. So that varies from one student to another. Now let's proceed to number 23. A school experiences repeated password breaches because students share login details. As a future teacher, Which response best aligns with ICT policy insights on cybersecurity education? So the answer here is letter C, conducting digital literacy sessions on creating strong, unique passwords. I am certain, and these were also some of the five key things that one of the five key things that some of you who chose the individual performance task nga mag-creating posters bala nan, so gin-highlight man na nila um, five strategies to keep that 21st century learners must have in using using digital tools or nan mo nang balila, we have to create strong and unique passwords to protect, of course, our privacy and personal data. Now let's move forward to number 24. During a group research project, students copy large sections of online articles without citations. To address this ICT related issue, which teaching strategy is most aligned with ethical use policies? So the answer here is letter D, and let's check what this letter D is. Teaching proper citation, paraphrasing, and responsible digital date content use. So wala lang na siya ginatudlo sa aton nga course ha. Even during when you conduct your research later on, we have to always cite whoever author, sino man na naghambal sa amo nga statement nga gin paraphrase naton. So next, number 25. Digital literacy involves the ability to evaluate, create, and communicate information using digital tools. So, hindi ko na kinanglan pa reiterate ha, because this is clear based on the definition of being a digitally literate person. Number 26, an example of digital communication is communication. Of course, you communicate when you discuss. So, participating in an online discussion forum, that's it. Number 27, critically evaluating online sources requires letter B, identifying identifying credibility, bias, and accuracy. So still, it's one of the performance tasks that I gave you last time, one of the choices, depending on what you would choose among the five differentiated performance tasks that I gave you. So, ang iban, nagnita sila sang certain article, and they rated that certain article depends on its credibility, accuracy, may ara to sila yung and if they're going to rate the credibility of this particular article pila ira-rate, and they were able to of course explain and justify why amo lang ni ilang nga rate out of 10. So dira na ako nakita nga they're being critical minded individual kay ginagambalit sila to, may ara nga nagsabat nga 7 out of 10 lang ma'am, because although amo ni nga product kambalya is good to eliminate or to lose weight abi on a certain part of some person, pero wala siya sanggin pakita nga valid result or findings from other studies. So very good, they are evaluating and ensuring that whatever they share to their students or to whoever it is sa ilang FB post or what is credible and accurate with valid results and sources. 28. A student wants to share news online but checks multiple credible sources before posting. So, of course, the answer here, this demonstrates responsible digital citizenship. So dapat ha, hindi kita yung maging fake news peddler ha. Dapat we have to make sure that whatever we post online, especially because you are soon to be teachers, those are validated and accurate. Number 29. A teacher asks students to create, sorry for that, to create an infographic summarizing community health data. This activity strengthens, of course, the answer is letter A, digital content creation skills. Kasi syempre, ma-create mo sang infographic. Number 30, your class is comparing two online articles with conflicting claims. As future teachers, what skills are they primarily practicing? And of course, that's critical digital literacy. For the essay type of test, suppose you are preparing a lesson plan for a class with mixed learning situations. Some students have gadgets and internet access while others do not. Using the ICT competency standards for free service teachers as your guide, describe how you will design flexible, inclusive, and technology supported digital experience that allows all learners to participate meaningfully. So you have to make sure that for you to be able to get a 5 or excellent score for this particular question, you have to demonstrate comprehensive understanding. If possible, you could cite what specific ICT competency standards for pre-service teachers would you use, and explain how will it guide you to design a flexible, inclusive, and technology supported nga learning experience. You might cite, for example, guided by principle of pedagogical integration of ICT, nan amuning obrahon ko, the lesson would offer parallel tasks or so on and so forth, and provide more examples. Same manner for second question. In the context of 21st century education, why is it important for soon to be TLE teachers or BEd teachers like you to develop strong digital literacy and ICT? So dapat you have to explain the importance of ICT in TLE or in elementary teachers deeply and clearly. Aside from that, you have to support your ideas with specific classroom examples, show thoughtful analysis, organize your idea clearly, and write clean and error-free sentences to be able to get the highest possible score, which is 5 points for this particular essay questions. So I think that is all for the rationalization of our quiz long test last time. So good luck for your test or examination tomorrow, and I hope you learn something. Your idea or yeah, the concepts or ideas with regards to the topics that we've discussed were strengthened using this particular rationalization session. So good luck guys and goodbye.